evening, good evening, good evening. It is your Monday night. It's the Plastic Crack Podcast, Season 5, Episode 8. And we got a stranger in the midst. And he's not.
Where Ken shows up.
It is the shocker show. It's the shocking show where Ken turned up. Bloody hell, what is going on? Hello, Ken. How are you, mate?
Tired. No, I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm fine, thank you. Yes, it's nice to be back.
With a sharp haircut and everything. Bloody hell,
No,
That's the last haircut and shave you're going to have for a very long time.
Yeah, I got shouted at because my hair wasn't cut, so I had to go and get it cut.
Is that your life entirely, getting shouted at by everybody?
Yeah, pretty
falling
much,
down
yeah.
holes.
I'm falling down holes. I haven't fallen down any holes recently, which is rather good.
We should have a counter. Days since Ken last fell down a hole.
Amazing.
Love it. Yes, indeed. It is Monday night. And actually, where's the comment? I'm just going to put this one up because James should put this up. It said, featuring special guest Rick Ashley. I think that almost deserves a yellow card, that one. I'm just saying that. No, it is. Tonight we are going to be talking about when it's acceptable to give it up. But we'll get to that later on. We've got loads to cover tonight. So thank you, first of all, to everybody watching on the catch-up. Thank you to all the wonderful people at Boards and Swords in Derby. And a reminder, as if you didn't need it, if you use the code PCP5, you get an additional 5% off all the glorious merchandise that Ian and his team are selling there. You were about to say something profound there, Martin.
Yeah, I know, but I'm going to send it into chat.
Okay, fair enough. Which also reminds me, tonight we have another giveaway from.
There you go. That's what I was going to ask. I didn't want to go. Yeah, we've got a giveaway, haven't we? And then because it hadn't been mentioned. So
yeah, it's true. We have a giveaway later on, so stay tuned for that one. Another one from Ian, and I don't often think I want to get involved in it, but this one I'm thinking I'm going to have to send in some full centuries to get it. No, I'm not in my gaming chair tonight, Matt. I'm up in Ludlow again, exploring the castles and having a really good time in Shropshire. So I'm away from home. Anyway, let me have a look at. Now, I did get all the regular weather forecasts come in, so I thought I'd catch all these early. So, Paul, it's apparently clear and crisp in Mercia, apparently at the moment. So there you go, clear and crisp. That's better than moist or whatever the usual one is. But not to be outdone, we had a couple of others. So, David, it's clear and chilly in Aberdeenshire. There you go. But he's got the single malts on the go, so that's all good. And Rich, he says, blustery and a sodden Stratford upon Avon. Fair enough. But then Craig came in and pissed me off right away with this. Good morning. Starting to get crisp in Tasmania.
Bastard.
Yeah. Flipping freezing here. But anyway, never mind. It snowed the other night. Yeah, it was
really?
There was snow on the hills just around us. Yeah. Amazing. It's lovely.
We don't have so. We just have water. Lots and lots of water because it's defends and yeah. They're trying to wash it off the earth, aren't they? Yorkshire Dragoon said cold and soggy in Wessex. There you go. Keep coming. Anyway, yes. So we said hello to Ken so far. So what about you, Steve? What have you been up to, mate? I hear you got a new toy to play with.
I have. I've succumbed to 3D printing.
Okay, can we just take a moment? And I really wish we had a clip from how many times he said, "Oh no, I don't want to do that. No, it's a joy of kit bashing. I'll never do it." I think you should
never do it. He said, "Never ever do it."
I've spent the entire weekend just printing stuff.
Yes, it's bad, isn't it, Steve? It's like watching Fury for a second time.
Not happening. Not happening. I beat my challenge last week. No Smiths, no Fury, no nothing. I am all sorted. But yes, I have taken that pretty slow.
Welcome.
And I've spent the weekend printing little tiny US army in Vietnam. because they're quite addictive, and they're really cute looking. They're so small and dinky.
They are. They are a great range. They're a great 3D breed. Do some cool stuff.
Is that the March to War stuff?
Yeah. So yeah. Then, like I said, I think they got plans for Mobileye later in the year. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, as if only there was a channel that could help us with doing 3D.
You know what? I was thinking that. I was actually thinking that last week. Who? I just wish there was someone out there, some kind of Superman.
Somebody you could just go to and say, "Help me."
The font of knowledge for all things wargaming, 3D printing.
Yeah,
it'd be good if he wasn't going to be a dad soon.
Selfish, Ken. Selfish.
Very selfish. The worst thing about you being into 3D printing, Steve, is I can feel every day my little bit of self-restraint crumbling little bit by little bit.
I said before we came on, though, that what has got me is you just press some buttons and, a couple of hours later, you've got figures. No.
Yeah, I kind of feel that until you do it yourself, you don't quite believe that's what it's going to be. So, we've been sitting here waxing lyrical about it for like over a year, and it was like, no. And then some people in the chat, they just go buy one, and then you get a message like, I just pressed the button.
Yeah.
And then there was a castle wall. Like, yeah, I know. That's great. Gone to work, you come back, and there's stuff.
Yes.
No, it's never going to beat a Perry. You're right. Yeah, but you've seen what Steve does to Perry's. Jeez.
I will actually be buying. I'll actually be putting an order for some. Has anyone seen Paul's updates on his? His sculpting. That man is a magician. That's the only way I can put it. That he just complete and utter magician. I don't know how he does it, but yeah. No, I will be buying some Perry's in the next few weeks. After last week's episode, I've convinced my mate to get involved with Ruckus. So we're gonna split a box of Bill and Bo, and yeah, have some Ruck-Eye in the near future.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, John says, hang on, a couple of pushes of a button and I get minis as well via the mail. Yeah, true, mate. But I think it's just, I just know that if I had one, that the addiction I have for collecting figures would just get completely out of hand. I was going to say, even more out of hand than it is already, frankly.
Your willpower is teetering most of the time anyway. So
you would just watch a documentary or a film, and then which is what happened with the motors. Like, I read that bloody book. I was like, 2 hours later, stuff.
They'd be on me. They'd be sitting there waiting for me. And if they ever manage to do it properly, where you can paint it, it comes out all painted.
Oh my God.
That would be it. I would there'd be an avalanche. I'd have to move up here permanently just so that there was room to live, because the place would be full of figures, even more than it is already. Anyway, so have you been painting anything, Steve?
Oh, yes. Not much, but I've done some things. So it wouldn't be a week without some burrows and badges. So I painted these last week. It's the suspicious looking Bill Sykes cat. And the mole fryer.
Awesome, mate. Love it.
They were both just so nice to paint, especially the cat. I was tempted to give him a striped tail. So I saw somebody on Twitter had painted him up as Bagpuss.
Oh wow! Love
and
it.
I was quite tempted to do that, but no, it's just such a brilliant. Again, just like all Boris and Badger's figures, just brilliantly sculpted, full of character. And there we go. I've never painted a mole before. Cheers, Craig. Do you also I look up animal fur patterns on Google when I'm painting them? Yes, I put mole face into Google, and it just brought up moles on people's faces. I was like, that's not what I want.
Didn't do Badger's arse. That's the main thing.
No. That sounds like a new real ale. And the other thing I painted finally got around to painting, because it's been sat on my desk for weeks, making me miserable, is this 223 for my Stalingrad project. Do you know what? I've rarely painted any early war grey armor at 28mm. No, I won't be doing that, Matt. and I painted it and dry brushed it. I thought this is really boring looking, so I put loads of weathering pigments over it, and then added the snow effect, and yeah, I was done. But I'm really close to finishing my Stalingrad Germans now.
Very good.
Rinsing face. Have you not learned? He doesn't like to paint.
If it came out painted to a reasonable standard, I don't care. That would mean me done, and I could just play toys all the time.
Play toys all the time. That was me. Relatively painting wise, short week. I didn't do much. Thank you. Yes, the pigments are definitely the way to improve it. It just gave it sort of that washed out, dirty look without being like overly dirty. But to finish my entire Stalingrad project, I've got 6 more figures to finish off, and then that's it done. It's only taken me 5 years.
Same as Ken's Stalingrad board.
Oh yeah,
that's in the skip.
It's in the. Did it warp or did mice eat it?
No, nothing. I just didn't have room for it when I moved. I just thought,
Got bored with it.
In the bin it went.
But that was my week, and this week I'm going to be painting up these Vietnam figures and also some Reconquer crossbowmen.
Awesome. Ken, what have you been up to, mate? Anything hobby-wise? I don't want to know about all the other stuff. Come on, that's all too messy. Look at them.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Little green men. Very nice.
Yeah. Painted some night goblins. GW ones. Back in the day. They're very nice. Very weighty. So yeah, there's 40 of them I've done. Did those over a couple of weeks, not gonna lie. I'm in the process of finishing off 10 of these as well. So that was like my test.
Oh, nice.
White scars.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
White scars. That's 3D printed, of course. So yeah, so doing some white scars, and you might see my post earlier in the week about doing mini different legions within the game.
Yeah.
It's only because I can't be asked to paint 50 Imperial Fists.
Well,
I want to paint all the different color schemes, so I want a squad of each. So fuck it, that's what I'm doing.
Well, you can sort of do that with the Shattered Legions anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you can do your models, do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, I'll play it how I want. It's just the fact of I'll probably end up doing squads of 10, and each squad will be a different. It's a good way to keep track of the bloody things as well.
How many gobos have you painted, Craig wants to know?
What actual in total? I've probably painted over 200 goblins in total. But just for Games Workshop ones, 40 at the minute. I've done more vampire count stuff, skeletons and all that shit. I've done a lot more of that. But yeah, no, I would say 40 GW ones at the minute.
Nice. Good job. Well,
Very nice.
Your absence has been at least you've been doing something meaningful while you've been away. So that's good.
Yeah, I've been trying to get some I've been trying to get some painting done, so it's working.
Awesome, mate. Awesome. What about you, Martin? What have you been up to?
Painting wise, nothing.
Okay,
hobby. Okay, right. So no, nothing. I've been doing a lot of editing, and I have been kind of preoccupied with Ragged Staff this week. So I did a big restock, which actually I finished after the stream last week. So I sort of went to bed, and then basically it's sold out, which is great. Thank you. I was just a bit sort of like, and to the person in the States who ordered so much stuff, thank you. I just hope they're in many boxes. They're all coming together like a stack, like this high. So just all around together. Wow. So that's what I was doing. But I've been getting things ready for the next set. Obviously, the next miniature is designed and he's ready to go. All the stuff's been printed and they're ready. But I've got another one that's on the sculpting table at the moment, if you like. Plus, there's some little extras that I've had an idea for, which I'm hoping it is doable. I think it'll be quite fun, and they're a little bit easier than a whole figure. So I've been doing that, and then I've just been editing. So I think I said a few weeks ago I just did that thing where I just filmed and did a whole bunch of filming. And I think I got like 3-4 videos worth of stuff done, and so it's just sort of editing it slowly. But yeah, I've been enjoying a little bit of a break after getting all those Romans and things ready. But hopefully going to have a game this week. So yeah, that's the Martin to Haley this time. I've never said that. I wish. I wish. This time next year there will be more printers. That's what they'll be.
Excellent stuff, mate. Any sort of little sneak peeks or ideas about
what's coming?
Yeah.
So the next miniature will go is essentially a companion miniature to the one that I've just done. So the current one is the I can't remember what the hell he's called now. It's the impatient heir. The impatient heir. So he'll have someone to go with him who's, again, it's a less fighty stance, a less sort of dynamic. I'm going into this. Oh, okay, awesome. Okay, cool. Excellent. The next sort of batch after that is going to be something totally different. And as far as I'm aware, for the 15th century, no manufacturer makes yet, so I'm trying to get in there first. But it's going to require more research by me to get it right. But I'm hoping if I get it right, it's a model to be able to be used in two ways if I do it right. So I'm quite excited. But I've just got to, when I approach Marcos about it, I need to be able to go, right, sit down, because I've got this idea, right? So yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've just been really enjoying just keeping up with all the posts and everything like that. And yeah, it's been nice. It's been
awesome.
Nice. What about you?
Good. Well, I've been up here for nearly a week, but before I went away, I was quite productive. In fact, I was very productive. So I just have to say, Willies.
Oh yes. Oh God. Now remember, like that person. I know I sent this to you at the time. The person that commented on me, there is no direct evidence that they fought naked, and like you said, they have very small willies. But I don't know if you were talking about the person that commented or the.
You can take it whichever way you like, mate. I'm just saying that. So they're
Victrix. Proportional. They look okay.
Welcome back, Ken.
Oh, Ken, I love you. Brilliant. Yes, yeah, they're Victrix Gallic fanatics. And they were fun to do, actually. Quite enjoyed.
They are cool.
They came out all right. So got the guy in the front there with his. That was the second time father. That guy with the head there, Ken. Just saying that. In fact, the first time father was one with a little winky. Just saying that as well. So also, I've been because I've been doing all the American stuff for the OPC project, which more to come later on. We've got freaking so many pictures from the OPC. I've been going back through some of my Second World War stuff. So I also did this. This is
I saw it in your video. Lovely stuff.
That is really, really nice.
Yeah, I'm quite pleased with them. Thank you. Yeah, quite pleased.
What's the difference between that and a sexton? They're very similar. Yeah, is that the American version? Is it?
I think the Sexton had a 17-pounder, anti-tank gun, didn't it? Whereas this had a 105 howitzer.
Howitzer, yeah, and it's got 50 cal on it because it's American. Obviously, they got
this is American. Yeah,
gotta have a 50.
Gotta have a 50. So that was that, really. Yeah.
Won't you stick? I'm having tank. No. I'm having tank issues. The paint.
Oh, there we go.
So now, if you 3D printed it, it'd be fine.
It's not 3D printed. It's been sent. So I've got to. I'm painting my first tank in. Well, for 28mm, about 10 years.
Blimey. There you go. Sexton is a different chassis and has a 25-pounder gun. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
I knew it was British. I knew it was slightly different. There you go. So, there you go. Yeah, it's been productive. So I also knocked off, and I will do a video on this because it seemed to get a lot of interest, more than I have on any of the castles I've visited. But I went to Stokesay Castle.
Oh, yeah, I saw you put this up. That's lovely.
Which is just down the road from here. Literally 10 minutes down the road, and it
nice.
is genuinely one of the nicest places. I've been there many times, and I took loads of pictures and a bit of video this time. So hopefully I'll do a video of it when I get back. But it's a beautiful.
I think
place.
it's because the idea of a fort, castles are cool. Don't get me wrong, they are awesome. But a fortified manor, where it's just like I don't quite have the money for a castle, so I'm just going to build a big wall around my house. I just think there's something a bit more fun. And after having Mike on last week on Ruckus, about Ruckus, you could see like 6 guys trying to sneak through this graveyard and over that wall to, rustle something from inside.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And it did actually. There was a bit of an action in the English Civil War around it as well, apparently. So not much because they surrendered it without much of a fight. But unusually, it wasn't pulled down, which was very unusual for the period. I think all they did was lower the walls. The walls originally would have been higher, and they filled in some of the moat around it. Which anyway, whatever. Really interesting, lovely place. The weather was not permissive of going to many other castles this time. Well, at least the lane said, no, it's too flipping cold, which is fair enough, really. Anyway, I'm trying to work out the best time to do things. So we have, reminder to everybody, if you haven't already done it, click on the link to the Facebook page, PCP Facebook page, answer the 3 questions and join the community. Because it's fabulous and we love seeing all the work that everyone's doing there. But also the team have been running, nothing to do with us, the OPC, which is the fun challenge that everybody's set themselves to work their way through an army through the course of the year. So the first month was core unit. And I think Warren said we had the most we've ever had submissions for it, so like over 40 entries. So I have I know. I could do some of them now, couldn't I? Let's do that. Okay, let's do some of them. I'll do half now, and we'll do half later because otherwise we're just going to be here forever. So yeah, reminder: this is the core unit for OPC. It's purely for fun. No prizes or anything else, but the idea is to get us through building an army. I do it in a week, but you lot all seem to need a year for it. So first up, this is Stuart's entry. This is his medieval archers.
Oh, nice.
I like them.
Very nice.
They are footsores, aren't they? I think.
I thought they were they the Perry 100-Year War bodies.
Hey.
I don't know. They look very cool. They look very cool. I think you're right. Yeah. Oh. Whatever they are,
they're very nice. I haven't done the 100-Year War Perry, so I don't know. So could be right. Tony, he has been doing his Brunswick forces.
Oh, lovely.
Those. I was saying to Tony on the Facebook post, I've got a soft spot for Brunswick figures. I just think they're just awesome.
We're going to 75 people watching.
Well, yeah, we did. Somebody dropped
went down to 164.
dropped my 9. Damn it.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought, blimey, what's going on? These are Stephen's Cities of Sigmar.
Cool.
Oh,
I really like that. That's a really different take. That's a really different take on them. Yeah. Which, from what I've seen, that's really cool.
Yeah.
There we go. Very, very nice indeed. Steve, he's headed into the Imperial Guard.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, nice.
Oh, lovely.
I like the Walker thing at the back.
That's cool. Yeah, that's the new Sentinels kit. Very nice.
Awesome. Other Tony. He's look at this lot. I would tell you what they are, but I can't find my notes. There's little things, there's bigger things, and still little things.
So I think on the left we have Epic Squat. In the middle we have some Ogren from Legions Imperialis, and then some Tomb King skeletons.
Yes. I knew that.
Now say that back, Dom. We want to check you were listening.
Moving right on. There's Warren. This is his Contrition Priests.
Oh, nice.
Apparently.
Oh, wow.
Oh, lovely.
I like
that. Is that for Oathmark? I think it's doing it.
Let me have a look. Did he tell me? He didn't tell me. That's all I got, mate. That's all I know.
All right,
Nice,
okay.
nice 3D printed movie tray. Very nice.
Oh, really good, aren't they? Love the cloaks. Samuel, this is his first attempt at Napoleon.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
Variants, very nice.
if that is your first attempt, mate,
Well done.
I'm going to put down my paintbrush and let you paint the rest because that is awesome. Love them. Roger has done a band for his silver bayonets.
Oh, nice.
They're good. Do they come in all those?
Oh,
those are the
nice.
Canadian ones for the new new book, aren't they? Because they've all
Canadian
got,
one, yeah.
fur coats and whatnot on. Awesome stuff. And then Richard, this is his Highlanders, 28mm Highlanders.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta love a bit of tartan, don't you? Gotta love it. And then another Richard has done. I love these.
They are fantastic.
Cool.
Assassinid Persians. Now these are a classic army from back in the day, from the old Featherstone and other war game books. We used to. I don't know why they were obsessed with these armies. I remember I grew up watching pictures of these things, fighting them out. Brilliant, really lovely. Absolutely love that. And then Paul Richardson. I mean, Paul, stop it.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Romans.
Yep. Lovely.
Are they
You're
proper
getting closer
Romans?
They
No.
are. We're getting closer
No,
to
they're not. They're not.
Yes, they are.
They've got no square shields, have they?
Well, they're still Marian Romans. They're the same. It's not early imperial. It's Caesar. It's Caesar's Romans, and that's the only Roman that mattered.
Oh dear. Stop squabbling, you two. And then last one for now, and we'll do another run in a bit. These are Paul McKay's Howling
Banshees.
Yes.
Howling Banshees. I mean,
Nice colours. Beautiful colours.
I mean, Paul, stop it.
He won a prize for those.
He did, yes.
He did.
Yeah,
At
he was.
Hammerhead,
I
wasn't it?
was going to say he should do. Fucking hell, they're amazing.
Blimey. So yeah, I'll do some more in a bit, but I think it's good to break them up. But that's a really impressive first run. I think you'll agree. Love it to bits. I tell you what, also, before we get too far into it, because we're up to 172 viewers, and thank you for everyone watching tonight and everyone watching on catch up. I did that already, but if you are liking what you're seeing, hit the like button and subscribe and do all that jiggery pokery, please, because it helps us. Let's do the competition as well. So,
Good chat.
Ian at PCP. Ian at Boards and Swords contacted us last week, actually during the stream, but we were so busy. We was going with the ruckus, we didn't get around to it. So with a giveaway for this month. So this month you can earn some of the beautiful Perry Duchy of Warsaw plastic figures. He has a box of those that he's prepared to give away to one lucky entrant. And I think, what are we going to have as a keyword? So the way you're going to win this is obviously next week on the next stream. Who's running it next week?
We want it's Steve, but we want names for Ken's child.
Names for Ken's child. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Oh God, this could be terrible.
It is a girl, so yes,
it is a girl.
nice.
Okay. All right. So not in the comments here live, but on the actual video when it goes up on YouTube, while it's up on YouTube. If you want to win a box of Duchy of Warsaw Perry plastic Napoleonic figures, suggest a name for Ken's impending daughter on the way, and next week we will draw it on Steve's channel on the stream next week.
And you never know. You never know.
And the winner will also name the child with that name, obviously, because that's the way it's going to happen.
You should have got guessed the name for the child. Because I've got a name. We've got a name.
All right, well, we'll just do that then.
Yeah, do that, and whoever gets it right out of people, if there's more than one, you just do a roll over there. No.
Kenyatta.
You remember, my wife is sensible. So
Yeah.
Well, she had a moment of madness, didn't she?
Yeah, yes. Look what happened there. Yes. So, if you want to guess, then all right, we'll change it. So, if you want to guess the name of Ken's daughter, who is due to be born in how many weeks?
2 weeks today. She's
2 weeks
born.
today. My goodness me.
It will be 2 weeks today, if not before. It's 100% be 2 weeks today.
There we go. So, if you want to win a box of the Perry plastic figures, have a guess at what the name of the child will be and put it in the comment section to the video, and we will draw that next week. And I don't believe there's any international restrictions on this one. So if you are overseas, outside of the UK, knock yourself out. You can enter it as well. So there you go. So that's really good. Thank you to Ian and the Boards and Swords crew for that. As ever, thank you for their continuing support, and a reminder, use their code PCP5 if you want a little bit more off their awesome product prices already. Cool. Right. So let's get on to a bit of tonight's topics. So I thought this wasn't a Rick Astley thing. This was when is it time to give up on something in the wargaming hobby? So I'll tell you the background to this. So I probably should name Protect the Innocent here. I was playing a couple of games the last couple of weeks down the club. Haven't gone quite how we'd hoped in terms of games, shall we say. The first one we played was a continuation of another of some ACW rules that we've been playing, and we kind of liked them, but there wasn't something's just not quite right. But we're going to persist. Following week, we played a Second World War game, which Jonathan binned off straight away. Said he's never going to do it again. Doesn't want to do it again. Didn't enjoy it at all.
What did you
play? It got me thinking. I'm not going to say. There's quite a lot of members. Actually, I did say on my video, didn't I? So it was Rapid Fire. We played a game of Rapid Fire, and I haven't played Rapid Fire for about 15, 20 years. I used to quite like them. They're fairly good rule set. Really awesome community support for it. You can pick off all kinds of free scenarios. But I think it wasn't helped by Jonathan's Churchill was destroyed in one turn by a half track on a flamethrower armed half track that just rolled up and set fire to it and blew it up. And I think after that he kind of lost the will to live. But it got me thinking, so what is one rule set where you are happy to persist with, and others where you just think, I'm binning this off, I have no interest in this whatsoever? So I just thought that was kind of fun. It would be an interesting thing, and see what people also think in the chat about giving up on rule sets. So we'll start with rule sets first of all. Ken, rule sets, have you played anything that you particularly, you were really excited about? You thought, I'm going to play this, and then just binned it off without thinking, or other rules that you kind of stuck at it for a bit?
It'll be the same as you, isn't it? SPQR. I was really excited about SPQR.
Yeah.
And then it just, got rid of that. I can't even sell it for £5.
Nobody wants it. Nobody wants it.
It is going in the prize draw for CrackCon, so some lucky devil's gonna get it. SPQR for me is the one I binned off. Literally, I played two games with Liam. And we saw how completely unbalanced it was, and we're like, no, because we wanted a skirmish medieval sort of like ancients game, but obviously not. This is before we knew each other, and this is before time of like never mind the bill hooks, before like Hell Season, all that. We knew about all that, so we were like, before I knew about Lion Rampant, which I love. Martin fucking hates it, but there we go. there's no other soft way.
We'll get onto that in a minute. Yeah.
But that's me. SPQR, bin it off. Yeah.
So, but was it just an instant thing, or was it just?
Yeah. It was instant. It was the balance. I liked it because I was the ghouls. I was like, let's have 140 dice. Let's do it. And Liam's like, I've got 8. So I was like,
it was like that, wasn't it?
It was. So that was just I liked it from a way of winning because it was nice to win against a little git. But yeah, we knew straight away it was unbalanced, and I was just like, no, I'm not waiting. You can't waste any more time on this. It's not fun. If it's not fun for your opponent, it's not fun for me. So get rid of it.
Glendura you can take them off your hands. £4.50 plus P&P. There you go. I think you'd be ripped off, Glendura. That's yeah. It's only good for fire paper. That's all I'm saying. Those rules. Awesome. Yeah. I agree with you. John does too. Look, SPQR definitely wins the golden medal for the bin awards.
I think that was a case of a lot of people like in the market.
Really looking forward to
everybody had a very big preconceived idea of what that was going to be.
Yeah.
And it was probably played into.
100%. 100%. But it's as well, isn't it, mine? Everyone people that like Hell Caesar and stuff like that were like thinking, Hell Caesar on a skirmish scale, and it was just like, no, it's not. So yeah, let up the garden path.
Yep. And it just was never gonna work for you. What about you, Steve? You've played many a rule set and many a game. Is there any that you've kind of just stuck at it, even though your kind of gut is saying, yeah, this isn't working?
Not really. I mean, I played when I was sort of my first go at wargaming years ago. We went through rule sets after rule sets. We were young at the time, and if it didn't grab us within like the first 10 minutes, we thought it was crap. So we just used to move on. More recently, I've been quite judicious. I mean, painting wise, models, no, that's fine. But when it comes to actually picking a rule set, I am quite, judicious. I will sort of take my time. But then I bought a War Transformed, and that everything transformed for me. I didn't even play. I didn't even get around to playing that. And again, I apologise that I didn't give it a fair whack. But that book lost me. That book completely lost me. I
never even heard of that.
It's if Alex is in the chat, I can probably see steam coming out of his ears right now. It's one of these World War weird ones. So it was set alternative history World War One. But I got confused just reading the fluff in the background. I just couldn't. And again, there probably is a good game in there. There really is. And normally I would give things a fair crack on the whip. I would. It's very rare that I wouldn't actually play a game before binning it off. But with a War Transformed, I thought it was me. I honestly thought it was me, and I just think it wasn't sticking to my brain. And I was like, why is it? Because normally I'm quite good at absorbing rule sets.
Weird shit.
Yeah, and
Alex said, "Could have told you it was shite from the beginning."
Yes, I really should have listened to the World War One Sage there. And I mean, that I will admit, I was suckered in by the hype with that.
Yeah.
It was all over Instagram. It was all over Facebook. There was loads of people, talking about kit bashing and all the weirdness.
That's what got you, wasn't it?
It was. I thought.
I remember you getting so excited about that.
Kit bashing weird shit in World War One. Oh, count me in, matron. But. Once I remember the book arrived. I was really quite chuffed because I ordered it quite late on a Thursday, and the book arrived the next day. And I thought, oh god, I'm going to spend the weekend reading this. So I give it a brief skim to on the Friday night. And I thought, this is a bit weird. It's not like I'm remedial or anything, but there was no pictures in it. There's no painted figures. And I was like, this is a bit weird. So on the Saturday, sat down, cup of coffee. Thought, right, I'll have a nice hour and a half reading through this. And I just couldn't. It just wouldn't go into my brain. It wouldn't. I just couldn't grasp it. And I looked through the rules. I thought this all over the place. And then I got talking to other people in the community, and it wasn't just me. I was quite grateful. And again, I do honestly feel quite bad that I didn't give it a go, because obviously the authors put a lot of time and effort into that, and it is a real shame that it wasn't what I wanted. Or expected. And again, maybe it was just me being, dragged along by the hype train. I think it was, because there was quite a few people in the Facebook group who were quite hyped for it. James just said about the the kit bashing got him as well. And I bought the book. I bought some War Games Atlantic Germans. I did some kit. I did the first 5 kit bashing. I thought, yeah. And then when I with the book, I was like, oh. I mean, honestly, yes.
Shell Shock says he loves the narrative of it, committed to building the armies, but yeah, agreed about the rules not being ace.
No,
I think
because it was billed as skirmish. I think skirmish you don't need the lashings of rule after rule after rule after rule. And like I say, it was Osprey. They normally do quite, quite. Not simple, but games that you can.
You know what you're getting with an Osprey set, don't you? Yeah.
It was such a juxtaposition from the Doomed, which is again an Osprey book, not released long before that. I love that game so much because it's just fast paced and it's kit bash orientated as well, and it's really simple, but it's really difficult, but it's a great game to play. And the kit bashing, and I after a night of having that book, I understood the rules, and it was just something I do enjoy playing. But with a War Transform now, it was, and again, I did feel bad that it's obviously someone's passion. They've put a lot of time and effort into it, and I just binned it off. There's not much of really to say. Another one would probably be X-Wing. Version 2. Didn't get involved in that because I sat down and worked out how much it would cost me to convert from version 1 to version 2, and I'm not paying money to play with ships that I've already spent quite a lot of money buying in the first place. Yeah. It's like, did you enjoy that pint? Oh, it was lovely. Yeah, right. Well, we've given it a new name. We've upgraded to version 2. It'd be an extra £2.50, please. I mean, you wouldn't. And it just annoyed me. In fact, I actually came across a video yesterday on YouTube from Wargamer Fritz, and he was talking about X-Wing 2.0, and he stopped. He didn't go into it. He worked out it would cost him $900 to get all the upgrade kits to move to version 2. So yeah, sacked it off.
Wow.
But that was that. I mean, I think I made a conscious decision with that. I wasn't going to get involved in version 2 because of the cost. Not when I've spent the best part of 3 or 4 years spending quite a lot of money on Star Wars stuff. But I think in recent memory, they're the only 2 that I can remember I've really bent off. I've given most games a fair go.
Excellent. Yeah. What about you, Martin? Have you anything you've kind of just been really excited about taking on, or just felt pressured into by other people around who you play with to have a go at, and just thought, nah,
I guess see, I think people are probably expecting me to say Lion Rampant, but I didn't buy Lion Rampant, and I was never excited about it. So, I'm not gonna say that. So that was the case. And someone saying,
we know how you love that.
Yeah. No, to be fair, this game, I think SPQR is far worse than Lion Rampant. And like I say, Lion Rampant just isn't for me. I don't know. I guess the one I've never really bought anything. I look into things quite a lot before I buy them. I think we said this before. I don't kind of tend to just buy stuff.
No, you're pretty good. You are. You're pretty
but the one that I probably bought into and played a lot, and then eventually just said, no, do you know what? I just don't enjoy this game. Is Bolt Action because it's turd. I just it's like, no, okay, no, that's a bit hard. No, I just it's a bit hard. No, I don't know what it was. I played Bolt Action because we all kind of got, me and a few mates got into it all at the same time, and I made a little British. Well, it wasn't even little. It was British paratrooper force, and I just I don't know. I don't know if it's because it's not really my main period. I don't know if it's really because it's not my main period, but I just didn't have the interest, and I didn't have the drive to keep on buying stuff for it because I didn't care about it. This is the problem. Now, I do like other World War II games, So obviously like 0
So it's not just the period then, because I wonder whether that was the case for you, because you're more into the medievals, point and stick brigade, aren't you? Really,
bolt action. I don't know. I played bolt action essentially because all my friends played bolt action. All my friends played. You know, but I am interested in World War II. I'm painting up bloody tanks. I'm waiting for all my washes to dry on this bloody camo. I think the thing I liked most about bolt action was the activation mechanic, which then got done by other games and done better, in my opinion, by other games. You know, by sort of changing the elements and the way that the drawing will work. And you know, everyone said you can add in a tiff in, while other games just made it part of their rules. Too many bangs and not enough twags. That's it. That's a t-shirt.
That's it. That's nailed it. Right.
Yeah, and that was it. So what happened was Warlord. Fine, you know, I absolutely appreciate people like it. It's a beer and pretzel commando comic style World War II game, and if that's what you want, then you know that's awesome. But when it came time, everyone was like, "Oh, I want to get a second army," or "I'm going to they just released a new tank for here. I'm going to get this," and I was just sitting there going, "Oh, I don't want it." So I started. So after I bought my one, my airborne, my British Paras, sorry, I never made anything else. I didn't make anything else. I got dabbled. I got some Bren carriers, thinking, oh, this will make my army better. I painted the Bren carriers. I never painted the 15 men that came with them. I used most of those heads in the War of the Roses conversions, the bear heads, and God knows what they are now. Actually, they're the old British ones, it just languished because I just didn't have any drive to make it better. I played it because everyone else was like, oh, should we play bolt action? It's like, yeah. Okay. So that would be the one that I just thought it was time to give up. I just stopped. I've played it since. You know I've played it because I've sent a message about it. Going, this is exactly why I don't like this game. But I stopped buying stuff for it quite quickly, which is weird because, like I said, I don't think it is necessarily pure because I like 0200, and you know, this is the thing. I liked Flames of War more than I like bolt action.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's got, you know, and neither of them are, you know, trying to play the period. They're just, you know, yeah. I don't know. Donkey was still one.
Alex said last time I played bolt action, I was in a building which seemed to be safe, and then Don came along with his tank. It wasn't just any tank, Alex. It was a KV2, and actually
the derp gun.
The derp gun. It destroyed it in one shot. Not played since. Funny enough, I haven't played since either. So there you go.
See, the thing is, I've just seen a comment from James who said about people think that games are too beer and pretzel. I have no issue with beer and pretzel games. I play Hail Caesar, a lot of it. I just didn't like it. That's it. I just played so much of it and eventually just went, I'm not actually enjoying myself. And what's the point?
Yeah. It's well that if you do get to a point where you think, this isn't fun. I mean, I've mentioned it before, but when we played second edition 40k, when that first came out, we loved that, best game ever. You fast forward 2.5 years, and we all hated each other. We hated the game. We just hated everything about it because everyone just wanted to win, and it wasn't fun. And everyone was just taking the same stuff. Game in, game out, it was just the same. You got to have this, and this, and if you don't do it, you're being cast out of the group for disobeying the meta. But yeah, we just stopped that, and I didn't play. Well, played, yeah. I think I played
today, Alex.
I think I played 3 or 4 games of 3rd edition, and then that was me done with 40k.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's certainly we'll play. Sometimes you'll play religiously, and I think that's the thing. I just became more. Maybe it's as I got older. So I just don't want to spend loads of time playing something that I'm not actually enjoying.
No.
Yeah. Do you think though? Sometimes it's also of its time. I mean, the thing about the rapid fire game we played was I used to play loads of it, and then you come back and play it again, and you think, oh crikey, there's something not quite, it's missing something. You sort of almost grow out of a rule set or even a period that you just think, it's just it's better off when it was of its time. Now it's moved on, and I don't want to do it anymore.
I remember we used to play the early 90s. We played a lot of body count, and I had it was actually a typewritten copy of those rules, and I'd lost them for years, and I actually found them in a folder not long after I moved here. Yeah. I thought, oh, body count, and I sat down. I was like, what the bloody hell is this? There's no way I could play that these days. It was just too much for me. But again, I think that was of its time. I must have played body count for the first time in about I want to say 92, 93 was when I first played body count. Christ, that's over 30 years ago.
Ugh. I know. Scary, isn't it? It's true, though, because you definitely... I mean, people would say to me, because I know I've been saying repeatedly on here how much I wanted to find a decent a rule system for Ancients that I want to play again. And everyone said, well, you used to like Warhammer Ancient Battles, why don't you go back and do that again? But it's almost that fear of... I loved it when I used to play that. I know it was very limited in what it was capable of doing, but it was fun. And actually then to go back again, is it really going to be as much fun again? I don't think it is somehow. Because my tastes of the game have moved on a fair bit.
Yeah. Did you ever try out Impetus?
No, I haven't yet. I have got the rules, but I haven't actually had a game of it. So no. Yeah. I would like to. It's just too many periods, too little time. That's the problem.
So what about you? Or is it just SBQR with... or is it... Because you were quite excited about Infamy as well.
Yeah, and I feel bad about saying that because I was really into it, and I think a lot of people down the club were very into it. But the problem with Infamy, for me, and I think for others, was that you really had to play it a lot to get to know how to play it. To play the barbarians, which I enjoyed playing, was quite easy. A bit like SBQR, actually. You could just, steamroller anybody. You just had to get the fervor up and charge, and pretty much everything would run out. Whereas the Romans had to really think, and they had to know what they were doing, and they had to know the little intricacies of their deployments and everything else, or their little special moves and special actions that they could do to stand a chance. And so I think because of the nature of what we tend to do then in the club, which is bounce around all over bloody periods and rule sets, it's quite hard unless you're going to play Infamy week after week after week. So I think that was the bit I found a problem with that. Good game, because I think the system's really clever, but just overly too complicated a little bit, maybe. You see what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I think that for me, SPQR, was horrible, and I think that one, just because it burnt. I was so excited. I was away on holiday when it came out, and I remember thinking when I can't wait to get the rule book and have a read of it when it comes out, and blah blah blah. And I remember Alex on here, and I remember I took it down the club the Friday night, and everyone was so excited to see it, and we all huddled around it doesn't often happen where everyone sort of huddles around the table and we're all looking at the rules and having a game. And after one game, everyone sort of drifts away.
You're waiting for that first person to say, "Do you know what? This is shit. This is a bit wank, really, isn't it?"
and so we carried on playing. We played about 3 games that night, I think, back after back. We think, I think we're missing something. We must be. Let's do it again. No, we're not.
But this is different because you said, is it a when is it acceptable to give up? Like, is there a rule set we've given up? And most of us have tried them. We've said that not every rule set is gonna please everyone. But to actually get a game where you're like, I've played one game and that's it, throw it away.
I'm never doing it.
It's quite hard. It's just, Bolt Action I played for from all the way up to 2nd edition. I played it like quite, from the moment it came out up to 2nd edition. And it was at that point, and I think it was probably the fact that 2nd edition came out that everybody started going, oh, I'm going to use this to get a new list. And I just went, you know what? I'm okay.
The only game I've ever played once and gave up straight away, it wasn't even a war game, it was a video game. I tried Minecraft once for 15 minutes. and gave up because I didn't have a clue what was going on. I thought I was on drugs. I kept getting killed by these zombies throwing stuff at me. I thought, you know what? I might as well go and play GTA 5 and just have a bit of fun. I didn't like it. Maybe that's me because I sound so old. And I tried Minecraft. Oh, I couldn't get it. Couldn't get it.
I'm sorry, Don. You're getting a yellow card for that, mate. That's just not acceptable behaviour at all. Yeah, no. Sorry, not going to have that. DBA, God, that's an awful rules. There's other ones I don't like. Yeah. There's some awesome stuff coming in. I have to say, I'll go back to some of the comments because there's been some brilliant stuff. And what also it makes me chuckle because seeing the comments going through, how different we all are as what we love. Because there's half people saying I hate this, and then other people I love this, and it's the same thing. It's just really amusing.
But there's nobody saying they love SPQR.
I haven't seen any. Yeah, okay. Look, we've got 171 people watching here. Thank you for that.
Who's putting their head above the parapet?
Anybody prepared to say anything good about SPQR? Go on, please.
And actually defend it and not try and troll.
And we won't. I won't give you a hard time because I genuinely would like to know if
just ban you.
Yeah, you'll be kicked out. No. No, awesome. Right. Oh God, there's so many comments. I'm going to come back to those. So thank you for that. Let's do a few more of the OPC. Another bunch of these because there's so many of them. We won't get through them otherwise. A reminder, if you are enjoying it, hit that like button, please. And a reminder also, if you want to win a bottle of, if you want to win a bottle, I'm drinking Ludlow Gold. It's here, but it'll be drunk by the time you get it. If you want to win a box of the Perry Plastics Duchy of Warsaw figures, the new ones, care of our friends at Boards and Swords, comment on this video, not the comments in the comments here, but on the actual video itself, with your suggestion of what you think Ken's child is going to be called. And you will be in the draw for a box of those wonderful figures, which
it's a girl.
And it's a girl. I'm trying to resist buying them. I really am. Paul Franklin. He's been doing Romans. Look at them.
Ooh, hey, I know. Very cool. I like the shield design he chose for those as well.
I love that shield.
I like the burning Gallic hut in the background as well. Can I just put up Matt's comment? Sorry.
Yeah, so
God. Okay. This is Percy's Goblins. There you go. You like that, Ken?
Oh, very nice. Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Happy days.
I like them. They're kind of fun, aren't they? What scale are they? Must be 15 mil, are they? Or 10?
Yeah, I think they're 15s.
They look really good. Nick has headed into the Boer War with the Boers.
Nice. Cool.
Boer Regiment.
Oh, lovely.
What manufacturer they are.
I was going to say, I don't know who makes them.
No. I don't know. Don't know, but they're very good. Pat has done the wrong side again. Look at that. He's done his Napoleonic French. You just don't
the right side, then, isn't it?
They're very good. Got to have something for the rifleman to shoot at, obviously. Matthew has also been doing Napoleonics, but little bitty ones. Look at them.
Wow.
Oh, awesome.
Jesus,
Love
they are
them.
tiny, aren't they?
They are tiny, tiny figures. They're brilliant, though. I like them. Martin, oh my goodness, it's a trend. But they are very nicely done, those French. Look at them.
They are lovely.
Really
I saw him
good.
put those up on another grid. They are just awesome.
Very, very well. And Mark has been doing the cod pieces. Look at them.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, very nice.
Wow. I'm sort of itching to get back to do some of those. I've got the project to finish off. Some, I don't know, dubious character called Martin has done these.
Hey.
Yeah.
All I want to do is sleep.
That's it. KS Wee has done these. Spearmen for Baron Wars. Now, they're definitely footsore. I've got some of those. Very nicely done. And Lee
Holy
my
moly!
goodness! Look at that.
No, that's all his
Couple of
squad.
bits. That's not. I thought that was like one core squad, and he's done no one core division.
Holy smoke! Yeah, it's supposed to be one. I mean, I'm resisting. Come on, you should do too, Lee. Kit has done some dwarves, iron breakers.
Oh yeah, they're
They
the
are
old metals.
very good indeed.
Yeah, they are nice. Very nice, dude.
And this isn't helping anybody's willpower at all. Kevin is headed into Samurai Land. Look at that.
Nice.
Very good indeed. Another Kevin has done. These are 1840s Brazil. So this is when you get into the Latin American project, Steve. This is for you, mate. Because I know it's going to happen. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
It is. I'm never getting a printer. I'm never getting a printer. I like kit bashing too much.
Yeah, that's it. Jonas has done some flipping French everywhere. What's going on? French infantry from Jonas.
Clearly, all that inspiration from the Napoleon film, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm seeing a theme here. I really am.
Such a good film.
And then Joseph has done skeletons and those Athenians.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, wow.
Good, aren't they?
Very nice.
Lovely.
They are beautiful.
I do keep seeing Greeks. I do keep seeing Greeks and going, But that's for not this year.
So that's another tranche of the OPCs. We'll get back to some more because there's a load more to come. As I say, we had loads of entries. If anybody isn't aware of what the OPC is, if you weren't on earlier, it's just the fun community competition to paint up a different unit each month. So all the different ones are on the... what are you snuggering about?
I was just thinking you went like... I thought you were about to say the fun that we have nothing to do with. So
yeah, we have nothing to do with it. So that's the schedule. So in March, which is this
Did you
month,
just... Is that... I just thought my computer crashed and come up with a load of command prompts when you put that.
Yeah, well, it's a command prompt. You've got to do a champion this month. So again, you choose whatever you want, whatever. So it's all loosely connected. So I saw some people saying, "What do I do as a champion for my Napoleonics?" It's like, well,
Nay,
Napoleon.
Or, yeah,
Ridley
whatever.
Get out.
Richard Sharp, maybe. Just do something that fits roughly within those themes. And then the idea is each month you'll do one of these. And at the end of the year, there'll be the army parade showing everything you've worked on.
That's going to be a very long show. That's going to be just one show.
It's just going to be ridiculous. Can we drink all the way through it every time we see French?
Can we get Warren, Paul, and Jason, everybody on for that one?
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, like it. All right. Oh my God! Stop putting the guesses for Ken's daughter's name in here. It's supposed to go in the
You meant to video. Comment on it afterwards to pump up the comment and like stuff on the screen, so it gets more traction. So you got to comment, like, and subscribe and all that jazz.
We're doing all the you're doing the YouTubey stuff, aren't we?
Yeah.
175 of you good folks on tonight, so thank you for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it. Right, what have we got? So also remember, no, I've already done that bit, so we'll move on. I'm so lost because normally I print off a couple of prompts of things that I got to remember to do, and because I've got a printer and I'm away from home, I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so we were talking about what things you made when it's acceptable to give up on stuff. What about, have you ever sort of started on a not rule set, but on a project? A period or a set of an army that you just think, yeah, I'll come to you, Martin, in a minute with your Carthaginian snow habit.
There we go. Yeah.
So okay, well, let's start with that one then. So the Carthaginians. So discuss that one, shall we? You were so excited about that, and it was a drunken purchase, wasn't it?
It was a very drunken purchase. I
was
absolutely shitted when I bought those. So, yeah, I was really excited about it, and I had this whole plan about what I want to do. It's all based around the Battle of Trebia and Tresemme. So it was all snow themed. I was like, no, I haven't seen them do it, and I did that whole Ancients October thing, I called it, where I just painted. And to be fair, I did paint up like a lot in there. I basically painted up half an army in a month. Now that partially did it because I realised that it didn't look quite how I wanted it to look.
Okay, interesting.
At the end of it. And then also off the backside of it, I was like, oh, I've got to paint the Romans now. And that kind of was like, what am I going to do in another month? So that was sort of what killed it for me, was that I was more interested in the Carthaginians than I was in the Romans. I had zero interest. Well, not zero interest. I wasn't particularly interested in the Romans. You know, the maniple system is interesting to a point. And, you know, I know we joke on here about Romans and proper Romans. And I was like, well, we got, you know, Hastati, Triarii, and the other ones.
Principe,
thank you. Who are you?
The Romans, don't worry.
Yeah. So that was you know, I did see Sam's comment because Sam bought them from me. But it just, because I was going to use Impetus, and Impetus is a game I really like, and I've used it for sort of doing Dark Age. I've tried it for Wars of the Roses and stuff as well. But I think it was because of the way I do my projects now, which is very much I do both sides, and there's no one I'm going to be able to convince to do the Romans, because I'd started sculpting cloaks onto them to do, like, you know, to do winter veterans for the Carthaginians. I was like, I've got to do the same for the Romans. And the idea of the project was really, really cool. The execution of the project wasn't. And you think, I have a lot of passion for doing one side. So when you do these projects and you're actually gaming a period instead of you're collecting one force. So again, taking the bolt action thing, you know, I'm just going to collect a German army because I've got a lot of people that play, you know, other nations that works well. Whereas I was like, no, I'm battling this campaign. I'm really excited. All my research was about the Carthaginians. And then I got and sat there about the Romans, like, oh, now I've got to do them, and that was it. Whereas, like with the Gallic Wars, I'm interested in Caesar and what he was doing, and Mark Antony and Crassus, and Pompey and the Triumvirate. That's really interesting to me. And the loose federation of the Gallic tribes and the Helvetian and, you know, the Britons and all of this stuff is all really, really interesting. But the main thing about the Punic Wars was I was interested in Nelly's Carthage, which has this lovely allied army, you know, from all over the place. And I know the Romans had lots of auxiliaries at that point, but not the traditional, you know, the early Imperial Roman auxiliaries with the blue shields, or, you know, oval shields rather. You know, they have, you know, so the Numidian cavalry and Gallic allies. But I just kind of thought, I'm just not interested in it, and that killed it. That absolutely killed it. And with other things, as soon as I lose interest, I'd rather just stop and focus elsewhere.
You're pretty good at just saying that's it, aren't you? Just don't been in that.
I like to think I am. But again, we've talked about it before. I don't worry about this FOMO thing. That doesn't really bother me. So no, that would be it. The Carthaginians is probably the main thing where I've gone. It wasn't the Carthaginians, actually. I just say this. I would have happily kept that, but to me, every time I looked at it, it's like, that's a failed project. 'Cause every time I see the Carthaginians, I just think about the Romans I haven't done. Turned around and there's a big stack of Victrix stuff there that I was like, I'm never going to paint that. So I just gave it to Jake, gave it to Sam. I mean, you know, he bought the army. I hope he's on it. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed painting them, but it just didn't. It didn't work out how I wanted it.
We had months of talk and amusement about snow, so that was all good. So it's fantastic.
There you go.
Andy's point here is quite an interesting one. I can remember this in the day putting me off. He says, I've given up on rules after reading the basing requirements. I can remember. That's more of an old thing, I think, in terms of it used to be a big thing with the ancients. When I used to play a lot of that back in the day, was every rule system that people moved on to seemed to require you to have to rebase everything.
and it just like, oh my god, having to rip all the figures off bases or rebase them in some way. It wasn't so bad if it was going on multi bases because you could stick down what you had on them, but if you had to reduce them down into just horrible, and that would put me off a rule system completely. So I'm with you there, Andy. What about you, Steve? You ever had that with a sort of period or a project you just thought that put you off about it?
I actually posted them in the Facebook group last week. Those Burgundians. So I bought loads of stuff.
Yeah,
and I sat down. I painted 12, and I thought I'm not going to paint them really because they're putting me into a coma. I found them so dull to paint. So they all got turned into turnip regiments instead. I was all over that. I was reading up about it. Reading the history, I was planning what I wanted to look like. Sat down, paid 12 figures, and thought, bollocks to it. I'm not doing any more of them. The first base was like, oh, these are something new. I've never painted these before. Now, once the second base, I was like,
just ran out of steam.
Just really quick. I mean, that happened over the course of about 4 days because I painted those 2 bases over a weekend, and then I sat down to paint some more the following week, and I thought, I just can't do it. I was just bored. I was so bored painting them. So they ended up getting covered in mud and tufts and press ganged into turnip 28 regiments. Apart from that, I don't like giving up. Even those Napoleonic French, I largely finished those. I don't like being defeated by something that I've bought. But if it's giving me PTSD, I've got to stop because it's just not worth my while. It really isn't. And I think that with painting, there is a point where if you're not enjoying it, you've got to stop because all you're doing is wasting your time, wasting your money, and it's going to be a chore. So
and when it becomes a chore, it's hard to keep that motivation going, isn't it? And then you just get bored with the whole process. But I agree with you.
I mean, those French Napoleonic, they bored me rigid painting those. I've just found them so dull, so dull. I don't know. That's why I have lots of things going on at the same time. So I'm not just painting the same thing over and over and over again. So, but
that's the point. That's the point Nick makes, which I agree with entirely. You've just said the same thing. Instead of giving up on a project, just start a new one and put the boring one on hold for the time being, because it may come round again. It may come round. That's my theory. I have to say, I have multiple projects on the go, and when I run out of steam, I wouldn't say I get bored with them, but I sort of run out of steam with them. I'll push it to the side and then come back to it at some point.
I just thought of another one. I started that bolt action British in Burma, and I painted HQ, a section, mortar, and medium machine gun. And again, I think I mentioned it. I found the uniform boring to paint. It was essentially 2 colors, and I need more when it comes to painting. I need a bit more stimulation than just 2 colors. And so I felt bad because I was going to do a video series about that, and loads of people were asking me, where's the second video? And I just say to them, well, I'm not going to make a second video because it bored the snot out of me. I had to stop. I did feel quite bad about that.
So, Ken, you're famously a gentleman that likes to jump around and loses interest in projects quite quickly and then moves back onto something else. Let's turn it around for you. What makes you hold on to something that you really want to? You just think, I'm not going to get rid of this. I'm just
value.
Doesn't now with 3D printing, to be fair, does it?
No,
because I don't sell that. So for me, it's the fluff and the lore and the history behind stuff. If I really like that sort of history, then I'll keep hold of it. Like my Space Marines I'm doing now, these have been on the shelf for nearly a year. So I literally I'd only painted one all the way through, and the rest were just sprayed white. But I'm probably 3/4 of the way through a 10-man unit now. Over the last day and a half. So I've kept those. Something I got rid of all the epic stuff. I guess I'm famous for getting rid of epic stuff.
You're epic at getting rid of epic. Yes, you are.
unless it's 6 mil Warhammer stuff, then I'll keep it. But 15 mil, I like the idea of it being smaller and you can see a lot more units. But painting those strips, yeah, fuck that. Yeah, nah, you're all right. I did. How many units of those American Civil War did I do? I must have done 2 regiments of 4 bases each, plus some cavalry and stuff. But I ended up selling it because I was just like, this is Steve, this is mind numbing.
Yeah. Well, so when I paint,
I don't know how you two have done it.
I've got to have a break after with my AC, those epic ones. I have to have 3-4 weeks away from it because you get into that mindset and you paint a lot, and then I sat down to paint a second Zouave regiment, and I just thought, I've not got it in me at the moment. Move on to something else.
I like the look of it. I love the look of it after it's done. Like, I see your games; they look amazing. I'd buy like an army of it already painted if I could, and use them as figures. But
you have to kind of go through a process, don't you? It is almost like going into therapy. You know, you have to go for. You kind of go, I know, I am enjoying this. I am enjoying it. I'm just having a moment. And then you sit and go, this is rubbish. I'm not having fun. I'm not having fun. Let's get you out of my life.
Yeah. See, World War II stuff. I've painted so many. How many?
It's like being in a relationship. You're like, no, this is absolutely fine. This is fine. I'm having fun. I've spent a lot of money. This money is worth it. It's totally worth it. It's totally worth it. Then you sit and go, you know what?
Do you know what though? It will never ever happen with burrows and badges.
No.
I can guarantee that. I would never ever get tired of painting them ever.
No, to be fair, I'm gonna have to get them primed ready for when the babies are, because they'd be cool for just sitting down one session and doing just one figure at a time. Because I've done like the Mole Preacher. I love it. But I'm just looking now, and to be fair, the most projects that I've completed have got to be World War II, because I've got 11 different armies, and they're all at least 500 points, so they're all playable. So I've got a force of 11, and there's none that are half finished. They're all done. So I would need to start. I could add on, obviously, but I could start a new one, and it would be. I think that's really weird.
Would you do one now? Sorry, Don.
Carry on. No, you carry on.
I was going to say, would you? No. Just to say, because I was going to say, would you start a new bolt action force or whatever? Would you do a new World War II project now? Now that even though you've got 11 armies, would you do another one now? Yeah, because it's been a long time since you've done one. So would you?
I've bought into Operation Plunder, which is the British one. I've bought into the Canadian one as well. But because I haven't, to be fair, I haven't. To be fair, I sold that British army that I had, because the original Wall of Plastic ones, I really didn't like it. They were sent to Europe and got lost in the post. Cheers, Royal Mail. Luckily, I insured it correctly and I got my money back. But yeah, I wasn't stupid. Nah, not with all the mishaps of that. But yeah, I would probably, Martin. To be fair, I would.
That's cool. Would you make it for bolt action, or would you consider?
Nah, I would make it bolt
doing
action.
Like chain of command or something like that.
Yeah, I'd make it for chain of command, 100%. I do 20. I do 20 mil chain of command. So
why Second World War over everything else?
I don't know. It's probably the thing that most interests me and I'm most knowledgeable about, I guess. I don't get me wrong. I'm really interested in Napoleonics, but I'm not as knowledgeable as the Napoleonics. But Second World War, I'd like to think I'm quite knowledgeable with it. Yeah, I'd probably say that's probably my strongest subject. Be Second World War.
So I love this comment from James. I've sort of given up with 15 mil chain of command. Love playing it. Great game. Just painting 15 mil has no enjoyment for me.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't say chain of command. No, not chain of command. Battle group.
Battle group. I was going to say I didn't think you played chain of command, but anyway.
No. Battle group. I wouldn't bother with chain of command. I'd just use the figures I've got. For chain of command. But battle group. After playing with Robin in 20 mil, I think it suits that scale a bit better than 28. Unless you've got a massive table, unless you've got like a bigger table, because I like it. It needs a bit more room.
Don't encourage him. Don't encourage him.
No, it does though. It does. To be fair, it does.
No. What about he'll be sitting there now, short leg away, going battle group.
He can sell me one of his armies. I'd quite like to buy an army off him. That'd be nice.
Awesome. Right, let's do. Should we do a bit of news for a bit of a break, and then we'll come back and.
Well, before we do, you didn't answer your own question.
Did I not? What was the question? I've forgotten already.
Have you got one and just stopped because you just gone sod this?
No, not really. No, because I don't like getting rid of any figures at all. So very rarely do I get rid of any.
You haven't started those elves.
I knew you were going to.
Yeah, but they're still there. I haven't got rid of them. They're still there. I haven't sold them. No, I nearly started them the other week. Then I got distracted by something else shiny, so I went off and did that instead. No, I mean, I'm trying to think. What was the last? Oh, the last thing I got rid of that that was sort of a semi-serious project was I did. I've got some of those Aventine Romans, which were beautiful, beautiful figures, and I started to build a Roman army. Then I thought, don't be stupid, Dom. You hate Romans, and it's true, I do. So they're like the French of the ancient world for me. So I just sort of binned them off, and I sold them just recently. And I thought I won't do that. So I think that's the last thing really I got rid of. The only other things were things that I just had duplicates of, or I mean I haven't done those elves. But they're still there, and at some point they will be done.
I did think of an actual theme you could paint them up as, Dom, the other day, because you were struggling to. You could do like a Sherwood sort of foresty theme in it, like that sort of thing, like your brown and green, like a brown and green. Yeah, I think that would work quite well.
I think it's more that I just don't know what I'm going to use them for. So you know me, I like to know.
Lord of the Rings. You could do them for Lord of the Rings if you wanted to.
Yeah, but I'm not going to play that, am I? That's the thing.
What are they? They're bows, aren't they? Bows and spears.
Oh, they're bows and spears. They're mounted on stags and witchetty grubs and all sorts. I mean, they're amazing figures. They are.
Yeah, but can you just paint to sell them though? Because you do that sometimes, don't you?
Yeah,
you could put bases on them and then
likely.
just sell it. Yeah, maybe just base and sell. I'll show you just a quick example color wise because I've done my Lord of the Rings stuff like it. I don't know if you can see. So he's not an elf, but that sort of color scheme, green and brown. That's the sort of thing I was thinking.
No, I think it's a good shout, and I may yet do that. I mean, let's say they've not died, they're not gone anywhere. I'm not going to get rid of them because they're beautiful models, they really are. But I just like, I think if I knew if I knew I had a game in mind that I was going to play, I would do. The only other one, actually talk about that because there's a certain ginger git who was going to do it was Oathmark. I loved that. I really enjoyed Oathmark.
I've got an army for it. I've got an army for it. If you want to play,
I know you have.
I don't mind playing it. I genuinely don't. I would like to actually have a game with you at some point. I need to. Laura had to be fair though. Laura's been really good with this because she has said to me, "You can't lose contact with." People, so she did say go out and make sure you still do wargaming because she's been saying I haven't been doing it a lot. So
he's yours now, Dom. He's yours now.
Oh no, she just wants you out the house, doesn't she? That's what it is.
I am. Thinking that. But yeah, no, it was. To be fair though, Dom, it was actually pretty good.
I enjoyed it. We had a couple of games, didn't we?
Yeah,
we did actually enjoy it.
Did you have a campaign plan for it?
We did. Yeah. We had a whole campaign planned. We played a couple of games around in my garden because it was during when you weren't allowed to be indoors in the lockdowny things, and it was summer evenings. We had some good games, a couple of good games of it. So I have got a whole lot of.
What are you playing Friday?
Napoleonics. I think we're going back to Napoleonics this Friday. Yeah.
But if you get another day free during the week, let me know.
All right.
All right. Play. Yeah.
Oh God. Right. Let's do. Yeah, that'd be lovely, mate. Let's do some news, shall we? Let me find the video and we'll hit the button. There we go. so much better that. Martin, have you seen anything?
I've seen a couple of things. It was not a very news-heavy week, to be honest.
What do you mean? There was some brilliant news out this week. God damn. Anyway, carry on.
Was there?
I'll come to that in a minute.
All right. Okay. Well, I covered basically. I knew that you some of the things that you would pick up, though. To be fair, so I just went for the GW stuff. So people who like orcs, this guy's coming. I actually don't like that figure. To be fair,
is that the new version? What's his name?
No, it's just no. It's just a big mech boss thing, I think. But I quite like it. I like the pose and that. I think that's really cool. And then they're releasing these for that Warcry game, which I am still interested in. That was the one at Dom at Warhammer World when we were walking around there. I was like, this one looks interesting, and I kept on walking away from it. But I quite like that as a thing. I thought that would be quite cool for,
nice.
I have no idea what it is. Just another warband, I think, for Age of Sigmar / Warcry. I thought it'd be good in Rangers of Shadow Deep. I thought it looks cool.
Good for your D&D models as well, that one. Isn't
it? And this thing, I don't know what it is.
What the heck is that?
I don't know, but I like it. It's stroking that skull.
It's like a crouching golem with a beak,
but it's got antlers in its back. I don't know, I just quite liked it. I could see that.
I do like it.
Around the range of show
people. Yeah, but it's got human feet as well, isn't it?
I think it is a human. It's just got a bit of a hump, an antler hump. And the only other thing I saw was also getting into this Conquest game, which I started sticking together. Well, that's something I did during the week, actually. I stuck together some of those, and they're lovely, lovely models. So they've got the new faction called the Sorcerer Kings, and we showed off the other day the starter set for the big battle version. And then for the skirmish size thing, which I got, this is their starter, and I quite like it. They've gone the full sort of let's get the genie.
They're brilliant. They are so.
I just like the guys that have got the holes burned through them.
It's lovely. Yeah, they're just on fire. I love that. They're really cool.
They're really cool. So that's going to be available soon. But yeah, that was it. That was my thing. Apart, that was it. Over to you.
Okay. Well, you missed the most important thing of the whole week, which was the Perrys are doing more Duchy of Warsaw. These are metals, so they're doing. I
don't look at what the Perrys are doing because it costs money.
You should do because they're just lovely. Look at those. So they're doing the guns basically for the Warsaw figures that they've already released. Just lovely figures. So I think they're doing them in all different types of cannons, depending on which periods you want and whatever. I think the Dutch spell. I think the Warsaw troops used all different nationality cannons, so you can use them whatever you like. But they look really good indeed. And there's also very much incoming is the officers, and these are amazing. I've got to have a set of these. Really good indeed. So I believe also the first of the Polish Lancers are going to be coming fairly soon as well. So watch out for that. This could be a bad month for paying up things to the Perrys. Also, I can't remember whether we talked about this a while back, but Footsore have a Kickstarter coming up this month.
Yes, the Vikings. What's the tale like? Possibly the best Vikings ever, or something like that.
It's hard to argue. I mean, look at them. I mean, I've got enough Vikings, probably more than they actually existed in Scandinavia. But I'm looking at those, thinking, just a few more.
What's that one doing? Second from the right. What's he doing with his right arm?
I think.
Is he on? It looks like he's on the phone.
He's yelling. He's yelling, isn't he?
I think he's yelling. Yeah, I think he's yelling.
Yeah, but he hasn't got his mouth open.
Yeah, he's yelling.
They're very cool. They're very cool. I do want to paint some of those up.
It looks like he's taking an in-breath, doesn't he, to yell?
It does actually. You're right.
His torso is he's about to yell. That's quite cool.
They're really nice. So that's a Kickstarter. Not sure what date, but it's this month sometime. Also, North Star showed off these fellas. These are American Civil War bushwhackers.
Oh, nice.
They are brilliant figures. Really, really good. As somebody pointed out in the comments when they posted this, was, are you going to do dismounted versions of them? And they went, oh, I thought about it. I thought it'd actually be really good for some of the cowboy games, with the cowboy or
Yeah.
any of those work beautifully for that. So they're on the way. And also, I know Andy will probably have to put his special pants on for these. These
Oh
are
yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
miniatures. These are French 30-year war infantry.
I gather you can use those from ECW as well.
I would think
There's the one.
they're not going to be that different, to be absolutely honest. So yeah, really, really lovely looking figures. Just yeah, I've got enough 28 mil. Don't need any more. Don't need any more. And where's the comment? I've lost it. Somebody made a comment and I've lost it. Here we go. Double Dip said, if the new known Blood Bowl team isn't mentioned in the news, then riot. Well, it's mentioned, mate. There you go.
There's a new Blood Bowl team, and it looks very, very cool. It does look cool.
There you go.
I forgot to get a picture of it, though.
So we mentioned it, there you go. Yeah, so lots of good stuff. As you say, a little bit quieter this week, which is, I guess there was a heck of a lot earlier on this year, and I guess we're heading towards some of the big shows now, so more and more things are likely to appear.
Which hopefully we're going to be attending. So
hopefully we will be at Salute. That's my plan, anyway. Are we going to see you come down from the ravaged north, Steve, and come to? No. Okay. No. Okay.
Do you reckon it'd be too much to bring? Do you reckon it'd be too much to bring my daughter to her first?
No, bring her along. Be fine.
Bring her along.
I took Tessa to a gig when she was 2 months old.
No, you didn't. Did you?
I was
Just put headphones on her, whatever it's called, ear defenders.
We'll talk about this after the stream.
But yes, you did. Yes.
I have a quick question regarding tanks, and I'm talking to people. What do people normally do with like the clippers and the spades and that are on the side of tanks? Do people normally paint them, with like wooden handles, or do people just let the camo over? Because I'm going to guess that if they would have just slapped, if they were doing stuff in the field, they would have just, like, if it was whitewash, slap it.
Oh, that's a very good question. To be
what
fair.
do you do? Like, Bartley wants to paint them so they stand out, but then
paint them so they stand out. Because to be honest, the crew, if it was up to me, because you got to think about it with the crew, if they lose that equipment, they're going to have patches in their camouflage, aren't they?
Yes.
So
like a bad tan.
Yeah,
that's a very good point. To be fair, that's a very good point.
Yeah.
So,
I always paint them, and then whatever weathering or dry brushing I'm doing over, I'll do over.
So you add the muck on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So what I normally do is after the wash, do all the weathering. Once all the weathering's done, apart from the weathering pigments, once all the wash and the dry brushing, I then go in, just do the wooden handles, and any metallics. And then
what tank you doing? What tank are you doing? A Panther?
Yeah. 2 Panthers, in fact. I've got some heavy chipping stuff that's coming on here. I've got some panel liner. I've got the AK. Steve, you should really try out these AK liquid pigments.
All right.
If you're into it, they're really smart.
The panel liner's good.
The panel liner. So I got those plus the other stuff. So, but I've got to whitewash the whole thing after I've painted it. So that's gonna be interesting. What was that thing about there? Was that about basing? This probably isn't going to go on the base, no. But there's a good reason for that. Yeah, there is a reason for it. But
Don's going for another yellow card in a minute. That's all I'm saying. It's interesting. I would suggest paint them and then weather them.
He doesn't say much, but when he does, that logic can surely, if they're not painted, then there's a gap in the camo.
Fair enough. And David comes in with a classic, only paint 4 candles. That's very good. Right. Crikey, we are fast heading towards the latter stages of the show tonight. So
reminder, if you want to win a box of Periplastic Duchy of Warsaw figures, then make sure you enter the competition. You just need to comment on the YouTube video for this stream with what you think Ken's daughter child is going to be called, and then you'll be in the draw for which we'll make next week on Steve's broadcast.
We've had a lot of membership requests over the last
we have
we've had a lot, and I approved one the other day, and because one of the questions is I agree to be nice or I agree to be kicked, and they put no, I prefer to be punched.
Actually, I would have let them in on that one.
I don't know what they said to anything else, but
as opposed to everyone who just put yes to everything that we definitely did not accept in at all.
I definitely did not.
Right. Let's have a look at some of the comments from people made about giving up on things when it's acceptable to give up. So some really good comments. Oh, first of all, we had some more weather updates. Stand by. It is clear and chilly in West France, according to Wargaming History.
I love your beret as well. He's wearing a beret.
Oh.
Don't mention that. Paul Hicks was on here earlier. He might get very upset if you talk about berries. He was having real problems with his berries earlier. John has said it is hot and humid in Miami. Mind you, it's like that most of the year. All right. All right. Go off, people. And Daniel says it's 27 here in Florida. Oh, what I can do with a bit of warmth. Don, Northern Ohio is beautiful. 70 degrees here, and I'm stuck inside. Not sure what it is in C. Just warm, just nice. And Gino said it's lovely and warm and sunny in the Netherlands.
Paul says he still is. Yeah, he's still going.
Oh my lord! Right, what do we got here? Robin says it's lying rampant. Is it okay to give up before you start? Yeah, we're not going to get into that one. Robin, you're a bad man.
I know it was me defending you. You bloody battle group, you bastard.
Gary said, I started an English Civil War army in 28mm in December, 2 battalions in, and I realised how much space those 28mm pike units need. By giving up. Yeah. Storage is a problem for some armies. You ever given up on things because of a storage problem? Anybody?
No.
No. Steve, you've even with your.
I have got a storage problem. I've had to start storing stuff in my hallway.
Oh dear. Glendora says it is okay to give up a rule set, which has changed so much just to make money.
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
Yeah, if it's not the game that you enjoyed to start with. I know it's not a war game. I kind of feel that way about Dungeons and Dragons because the game that I played when I was a child it's not remote. It's moved on and it's for a different generation of people. So that's absolutely fine.
I agree. Entirely right. I think it's the same way we're talking about sometimes older rule systems that you just don't go back to. It's just that was the time. That's fine.
Yeah, like we said about the other week, we would Steve. He says, I probably wouldn't go back and play War Machine unless it was for a bit of a joke with my old buddies that used to play it with wanted to get it out. I never see myself optionally getting it out when I've got all these other games I'd rather play.
So Robin's come back with another one here. Soldiers of Rome was really excited, bought and painted a few hundred figures, fell flat after 2 games, just wasn't fun. Interesting. I've not played that. I did have the rules for a while, and then they were all set. I thought, no, I'm not going to play them. I'd sell them, which is very unusual for me to sell anything like that.
You had a premonition.
I did. It must have channeled my inner Robin. Oh, that's a bit scary. James says, War Transformed, loved the North Star Kickbash miniatures, got the rule box, couldn't even read it. Rubbish. There you go. He's with you, Steve. Absolutely. Rich said, Team Yankee, or how to create
No,
a tank.
do you know what? I started that because I actually watched a Team Yankee battle report a few weeks back, and it literally was like a it was like a traffic jam of tanks.
So, Steve, you played a lot of Flames of War, and I swear that never happened. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't have enough tanks.
Well, yeah. I mean, but our first game to Flames of War years ago, we were quite tank heavy because we just liked wanted to play tanks. I don't remember like seeing like a jam like that. I don't know. I really don't know.
It's my concept. I've never played Flames of War, but my concept of that is that it's like Lord Melchik on in Blackadder with his dustpan and brush sweeping troops off the table, because it just seems to me like it's just mass numbers of things that you just want to that just get blown away at every turn. But anyway, I don't know. So I've not played it, so I'm not gonna bad
to be
mouth
fair,
particularly.
That's what Legions Imperialis is like. Things die in that game very, very quickly and very easily.
They do an epic though, don't they, as well?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I mean, Spaceman's like a 5-up save or a 6-up save, whereas in 40k, they're virtually invincible. But at an epic scale, yeah, they vanish very fast.
Mm-hmm. Alec is with me on Infamy. Well, I know you are, mate, because we played a few of those games early on. He says, I gave up on Infamy, far too complex and silly results. I sold them very quickly. Yeah, I wanted to like them. I like the Lardy games very much. I appreciate what they're trying to do, but it just didn't work for me. But there you go. Interesting, they haven't issued... They were supposed to be multiple versions of those coming out. There's been no talk of the next versions at all, so maybe I have to get Rich back on and ask him. Casper says Men Will Be Kings, lacking so much, way too simple. Yeah, they are very simple, but I actually quite like them. But they're very simple. Yeah, if you want a historically accurate game, they're not that.
Osprey's not the
But they're kind of, again, I was talking about this the other week, is having a game system that you can play over a couple of hours down a club night or around your friend's house and know that you'll get a result. They work pretty well for that. Matt's gone in controversial. How about this one? Test of Resolve. Just couldn't get into it.
Test of Resolve.
It's the Wars of the Roses. It's based on the Wars of the Roses. You could use it for any sort of late medieval one. It is a very it's a Marmite game. You leave it. You will either love it. You definitely got to be in the mood for it. I really like the activation system. It's really cool. I like that. It's cool. I've done the game. I had a game with the creators, which was fun.
Some people don't like. I know you don't pay for it, but never mind the bill hook. Some people don't like that either, do they?
I have to say that was one that I didn't necessarily like terribly. Jono and I played a couple of games of it and just didn't quite gel for me.
It's not that I don't like it. I have played it. It's a strange thing. It's like I kind of like I don't play bill hooks as much as I play Hail Caesar because Hail Caesar does what I need it to do for the Wars of the Roses. Precisely. So I don't. Whereas with Ruckus, I haven't got like a teeny weeny narrative-driven skirmish, so I'd rather play that than the build.
I think that was my feeling. Basically. I agree with you. I think that was my feeling with that. Is I was thinking all the time, is that why are we playing this when actually I've got a rule system I quite like playing already?
Yeah, and it's nothing kind of against it. It's just kind of I have played it quite a few times, and I've actually got a lot, but I find it very hard to scale down. And I know there's the argument that the bill hook scales up really well, and I understand it does. But after investing all sort of like the time and effort into what I did for Hail Caesar and all Roses, I just like playing that. And everyone has their own preferences, don't they?
Absolutely. There's as many people here that are saying I don't like Hail Caesar. So
exactly.
That's what I'm saying. It's like we all have our preferences, what we love and what we don't. Benjamin, there's a good reason for dropping a rule set, mate. You bought a rule set once only to realise the front page was in English, the rest was in Hungarian.
Yeah,
that one got binned. That'll do it. That's a fair reason. Oh God. Simon says, I played one game of Siegkrieg 5 and vowed never to play it again. It was table-tastic and full of pointless data. I don't even know that one is. Anyone know what that one is?
I've never heard of that.
Siegkrieg 5? No, never heard of it. Never heard of it. But yeah, I won't be rushing to play it then. That's all I'm saying. James says, yeah, sacked off X-Wing version 2, not paying money for things I've already paid for.
Exactly.
Lesson in how to kill a game overnight. Yeah. Sometimes I do think people who write rules and companies who do the figures for them just seem to just not do themselves any favors, just almost perpetually updating rule systems just for the sake of it. Almost, it's like, yeah, move on and do something different. That's a better way to do it. Here we go. Steve's changed it around. He says, different spin on this. Games that I'd like to get into, but fear would not be supported for much longer. One of those was Game of Thrones battle game.
Oh, that new one.
Yeah.
Or did you mean the new one, or because there's So there's a Game of Thrones game coming out by Night Models, which is officially tied in with the series. There's the Song of Ice and Fire mass battle game, which is, I think everyone thought was going to go down the toilet, but it's actually sort of stayed. And then there's the new skirmish version, which is on Kickstarter or whatever they've got it on, which is I can't remember. That one's a tie with the books as well, like the mass battle one. So there's quite a few out there, but the ones that were the tie-in with the books do seem to have lasted when everyone thought that would go down the toilet. I was quite surprised by that.
There you go. Case in point from John. He says, did a solo playthrough of Black Powder. Hated the activation system. This term, my commanders are heroes. Next time they're buffoons, I think that means. Will not play any of that family of rules. Yeah, I mean...
it does. So it starts... Yeah. No, some people just don't.
I know Alex hates the mechanics of activations like that, and also the predictability of moves as well. I think that's the other thing some people just don't like. Personally, I like that system. Works for me. It plays a simple-ish game, which has enough of a feel to it. But yeah. There you go, Alan again. Black Powder and Field of Glory: The Cures for Insomnia. It's harsh, but I can see that. John says nostalgia needs to be kept in the past. Have yet to revisit your favorite experience. I think you're right. I think that's why we're all so big into getting the next rule system.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I don't know. I've never really been one, even with video games and things like that. I've never really cared to go back and revisit things. You know, there's nothing stopping me going back and playing 6th edition Warhammer or 2nd edition 40k. I just can't. I've been there, done that, and I'm happy to move on and think about it fondly.
Glendor says, Martin, if you liked 1st edition Bolt Action, maybe try Conflict 47. As that 1.5.
Yeah, you like that, don't you?
We did. We played at Warhammer.
But because the rules, it was when you have big robots running around punching tanks and a giant polar bear twatting someone with a baseball bat across a bridge. It was just fun and the light height. I don't know. It just took all of the. I don't know, for some reason, and I know it's purely me, and I get that, but for me, it worked with those rules. And also it had reactions in, which I think is actually probably one of the things I just didn't like about the rules is my men just standing there getting shot, which probably means I should put them in cover. But you had the reaction. So like I said, I do plan on trying to play Bolt Action again and just introduce those reaction things that they put in it in Conflict, just to see how it plays.
Oh, Steve was talking about Song of Ice and Fire. That's the current one.
That's the mass battle one.
The mass battle one.
Yeah, no, it's still going. They're releasing new stuff for it. So
Yeah. It always looks really interesting. The figures look really good. They're quite expensive, though, aren't they?
It can be, yeah, but you can get some pretty good deals.
And they're are they 32 or 35 mil? They're not 28, are they?
No, they're big, aren't they?
They're 32.
Yeah.
But you get a load of cartridge. It's definitely halfway between a war game and a board game. To me,
yeah, they look like it to me. They look quite fun. What else we got here? Carl said he got rid of my Victorian science fiction models because I couldn't face doing all the scenery. That's an interesting take. You ever done that? Ever been put off by by a period or an army because you think, oh my god, I've got to redo all the terrain or get something special for it? Can't say I have, but
no, not really. Although I'm not a great fan of building or painting scenery anyway. But when I did that Space Weirdo stuff last year, that changed something for me. I really did enjoy doing that.
Scale could be scale is the thing that puts me off with that. You know, it's the thought of buying. I've got loads of 28 mil. I've got quite a bit of 15 mil. Got even some 20 mil terrain. But the thought of then doing another, if I went into 6 mil or 10 mil or something, having to get hollowed more, that puts me off.
That's where the printer comes in very handy.
Shut up. Shut up.
Yeah, it does. To be fair, it does. You print to what you want. So yeah,
I've definitely not been looking at Vietnamese villages to print because there's loads of them out there.
Matt says I was on the cusp of starting a Carthaginian force multiple times purely because of Hannibal. He's one of my historical heroes. But like you, Martin, I couldn't be asked with the Romans. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. I think it's fair. I've got a Carthaginian 28 mil army, so never bother with the Romans. That's always a good thing. Paul said always failed and got bored with GW Warhammer armies. I've started too much detail on the rank and file. Just can't be asked. Fair enough. I always thought they were quite small armies, aren't they? Not enormous armies. I know they're not skirmishers, but they're not. And Graham, I know Graham. Graham loves his saga, but he says saga, age, and magic. Too complicated, too many trick types, and I love saga. I actually liked Age of Magic. It's one of the ones I
haven't played it yet. I've got it. I'd like to give it a go.
I did quite enjoy it. Right. Let's finish off with the next lot of OPC pictures, shall we? There's another wave of them coming in. So, reminder if you've just joined or only joined halfway through, these are the monthly challenge from the community to paint up various units. This month was February's, and this was to paint a core unit for an army. And each month will be a different element that you build up to build the whole army over the course of the year. It's not something we have anything to do with. It's community run, and I think at least two of us have got involved in this month or this year's one. So that's really good. So Andy, oh look at those Ottomans!
Lovely.
My goodness, he's I've got to do my Napoleon Ottomans. Every time I see Andy put some Ottomans up, I think I've got to do my Napoleonic ones.
What's that for? Because that's a funny shaped base.
He's doing them for. I don't know what the rule system is he's using. He might be able to tell us in here, but they're earlier than Napoleonics he's using these for. But I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference, to be honest. Carl has some green things.
Oh, they're
Dark Angels.
They're Dark Angels.
They are Dark Angels, aren't they? Yeah.
I think he's running those for Xenos Rampant though, not 40k.
Oh yes, as he said, heavy infantry for Xenos Rampant. You're quite right.
And he's doing it for Pike and Shot.
He's doing it for Pike.
Okay, cool.
Good man. David has been doing some legionaries.
Oh, nice. Good. Very cool.
Real Romans, got square shields.
Ken approves, or he's just woken up. I'm not quite sure which. Jeff has been working through his ACW.
Oh,
project.
nice.
They look good. Those Rebs look particularly good.
Very nice.
Very good indeed. Ian, these are Bretonians and Conflict 47 Germans.
Germans, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
lovely.
Nice.
Yeah, those Conflict 47s look cool. They always remind me of Wolfenstein.
Yeah, very much so, that kind of thing. I like them.
Yeah, quite cool.
They're very good. Yeah, very nice. Duncan is, oh my god, what I've got to find the name. This is Ravage Regiment for Kings of War.
Oh, cool.
I mean, I don't know what to say about them, but yeah,
They're awesome.
I'll probably get taken off if I say what I'm thinking. Gary, look at those Austrians.
Oh.
They are awesome. Love them. Every time I see, I have zero interest in sort of 6 mil and smaller scale figures, but whenever I see Napoleonics done like that, I think, ooh, maybe, and then
maybe.
then I just slap myself around the face and get on with things. Gary has done some nuns with guns. They're just brilliant. Love them. Some shite hot called Dom has been doing these. So
47 as well, though.
Conflict 47 and Bolt Action Americans for me.
Nice.
So yeah, that's been fun. They look completely different colour, the top ones and the middle ones, even though they are identical. It just must be
Just a lion in it.
Yeah.
They are exactly the same. Anyway, so I'm working through those. Really enjoying doing that, actually.
Which ones are they with the bayonets, Tom?
Sorry, come back. I don't know. These were made up from. Remember Simon sent us a whole load of stuff to get rid of at CrackCon and other figures for Martin and me and Steve to have. These were some of those he sent for me. So he'd already made them up, so I have no idea where they came from. But I imagine the guys with the bayonets are probably from another kit.
Are they Americans? Because they
are supposed to be Americans, but I'm not sure the rifles are. They might be Japanese.
Yeah, I was going to say they're Japanese, aren't they? Yeah.
I think
maybe
they
picked
be.
Yeah, they picked them up. Yeah, that's cool.
But,
bit different, isn't it?
I'm going to be using them for Weird World, so they can have whatever they like. They're going to be eating robots soon. Gaza.
Tyranids.
Hey.
Oh, nice.
I got it in. They're brilliant, aren't they? Really,
that
really
colour, that blue's beautiful. That's really
fantastic
nice
stuff, isn't it? Wow. And then Alid, Alid. This is his core force for men who will be kings.
Oh, nice.
There's just been a bunch of that's awesome though. Is that the core force or one? I was about to say he's done the whole force.
That's the whole force. I mean, I think
it's awesome.
Yeah, very good indeed.
Very nice.
And then finally, I think, is Andy's Ancients and Germans.
Hey, that is crap. Wow. What a month.
Team there.
So there you go. That is your OPC for this month. Unbelievable. Thank you, everybody, for entering that and doing all that. I've got to remind myself what next month is. It's Champions, isn't it? Champions is next month. So if you are interested in joining the community challenge, then please do. If you haven't already started, then that's fine. Just start from wherever you like. It's for fun after all. It's not.
Yeah.
Oh, Andy says he thinks the bayonets are from the Marines. Okay, could be.
There you go.
Could well be.
That is awesome.
Thingy's got to take a yellow card for this, David.
Oh, Roman.
I'm sorry. I
think even the Romans would get upset about that. I think.
Yeah, I need to dish out a yellow card for that because I don't normally do it. But that's just,
can I ask another tank related question?
Oh, go on then.
Before we go, right? What is this thing here on the side of the Panther? It's like a tube.
It's a log. It's a log.
A log? It's not
not a
wood.
log. No, it's
It's not a log, you
Not
penis.
Only the Russians have logs on the back of their
I
tanks.
can't see. I can't. To be fair, it's quite
It's
blurry,
just-
Martin.
No, I know it's blurry. Why would there just be one log on the side of it? It's
not a
anyone know?
log, I
Anyone got, what is it?
It's
It looks. Is it like a?
I think it's like a storage thing. I can't remember what it's for though.
So is it just a? I thought it
Yeah,
was just
yeah,
a really,
barrel.
really
Yeah,
big-
yeah.
There
So
you go.
John's, yeah, it's the cleaning rods. Yeah, so it's like it's a cylindrical tube for keeping the barrel cleaning kits in.
Okay, so here's my next question: is that just the same
What
color as the camo?
I'd camo that. Yeah. I think that'd
Camo
just-
that one up.
Yeah, camo that.
Ball bags.
Yeah.
Right, okay, thank you. I'm gonna paint it like it's a bark though now.
Do you know what I'm going to say? I've been painting these tonight. These have been some of the most enjoyable figures I've painted in a while. I mean, I know they're a bit cartoony, but they're just so much fun to paint. They're looking so nice. Ah,
Awesome.
Bolt Action Vietnam at 15 mil coming soon.
Here you
Oh,
wait
I
for that.
I see now the tube. Yes, I'm looking at a panther.
Were you
you happy
just
now?
looking it up? Were you looking it up to try to?
Yeah,
I
no.
think he
I'm
was.
just no. I wanted to no. To be fair, this panther model it's camoed as well. Like you got tracks as well for it. Put on the side.
Yeah. I've got tracks on
They're
those.
just normal track colors, not camo.
Yeah, no, I've done that. I just didn't know what it was. I couldn't work out what the hell it's supposed to be, so I didn't initially include it in my camo.
Does that kit come with an aerial as well, or not?
It does, but I haven't stuck it on because I'll snap it off as I'm painting. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
stick
I
it
made
on.
a
okay,
yeah,
I made a
yeah,
Phantom
I'll do
4
it.
yesterday and snapped it off within 5 minutes of making it.
Oh shit! I think I binned them off. I think I
just
binned off the sprues.
Get a brush
Oops,
thingy.
Just use a brush.
Yeah,
Or just don't make it a command tank.
yeah, it's fine.
Right. Anyway, enough of this shenanigans. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. Much appreciated. As always, lovely way to spend our Monday evenings with you all. Next week, we will be over at On Point HQ with Steve. And you've got a couple of guests joining us next week.
A couple of community guests, yes. And
Community guests.
very interesting. It should be too.
Looking forward to that immensely. So get over and join us next week for that. Also, remember, if you want to win that box of Duchy of Warsaw figures, then put a comment in the comments for the video with your guess of what the future addition to Ken's family, little daughter, is going to be called. Bonus points for those who make the funniest suggestions. And we will see you all next week. Thank you very much indeed for joining us as ever.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for those watching a catch up, and have a really good week. We will see you all next
See
week.
you, everybody.
Love you,
Bye.
Bye bye.
So long.